I used to walk home from school every day. It was faster than waiting for the bus, and I liked having the time alone. The route was simple. 2 quiet streets, a shortcut past an old row of trees, then straight home. I'd taken it hundreds of times without thinking twice. It changed one afternoon in late autumn. School let out early, and the sky was already dim, the kind of gray that makes everything feel heavier. I remember noticing how quiet it was. No cars, no other kids, just my footsteps and the wind moving through the trees ahead. As I turned onto the shortcut path, I felt that familiar sense of being watched. At first I ignored it. Everyone gets that feeling sometimes, especially when they're alone. But the farther I walked, the stronger it became. I glanced back. There was a man standing at the start of the path. It wasn't close enough to make out his face, but I could tell he was watching me. He wasn't walking. He was just standing there, hands at his sides, like he was waiting. I told myself he was probably just someone cutting through like I was. I kept walking, but my pace quickened. After a few seconds, I looked back again. He was closer. Not running, not rushing, just closer than he should have been. My heart started pounding. I sped up. Leaves crunched under my shoes, loud in the quiet air. When I looked back a third time, he had stopped again, standing perfectly still. That's when I realized something was wrong. No matter how fast I walked, no matter how much distance I put between us, he always stopped moving whenever I looked at him, like he didn't want me to see him walk. I left the path and took the long way home through the neighborhood, cutting past houses instead of trees. I felt safer with people around, but the feeling didn't go away. Every reflection in a window made me flinch. Every sound behind me made my stomach twist. Halfway down the street, I noticed footsteps. They weren't loud. They weren't rushed. They matched my pace exactly. I crossed the street. The footsteps crossed too. I stopped. The footsteps stopped. I didn't turn around. I told myself that if I ran, it would get worse. That if I stayed calm, whoever it was would lose interest. My house was only 2 blocks away. I just had to keep walking. Then I heard his voice. It was calm, almost gentle. He said my name. I had never seen his face. I had never spoken to him. But he knew my name. I ran. I didn't look back. I didn't care if it made noise. I sprinted the rest of the way home, my chest burning, my vision blurring. I slammed the door behind me and locked it, shaking so hard I could barely turn the key. From the living room window, I watched the street. At the end of the block, the man stood perfectly still, just standing there, watching my house. He didn't wave, he didn't shout, he didn't move closer. After a few minutes, he turned and walked away, disappearing around the corner like nothing had happened. I told my parents. They called the police. An officer drove through the neighborhood, but they didn't find anyone. No one matching my description, no reports from anyone else. They told me it was probably nothing, a misunderstanding, someone passing through. But the next day at school, I found something in my backpack, a folded piece of paper. On it was a simple message, written neatly in pen. I'm glad you made it home safe. I stopped walking home after that. Even now, years later, I still feel that same cold fear whenever I hear footsteps behind me. And sometimes, when I glance at a reflection in a dark window, I swear I see someone standing just far enough away to watch me, without being seen. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Stay safe out there.